KidNuz fans, need to get your kids organized for that big news story they're about to break? Maybe get them up to speed on the importance of voting or the impact of AI. We've just teamed up with some great books and brands to bring you products we think they'll love. Also in the mix, a way to rep KidNuz with a future news reporter t-shirt, or one with the 5 questions all good journalists must answer: who, what, where, when, and why. All the swag and more can be found on our new Starglow store. Just go to starglowmedia.com/KidNuz. That's starglowmedia.com/KidNuz. Happy shopping! Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Kim. Today is Thursday, February 15th, 2024. And we begin with all eyes on Caitlin Clark, as just 8 points stand between the Iowa Star and college basketball history. The Hawkeyes host Michigan tonight, setting the stage for the senior guard to break the NC2A women's all-time scoring record of 3,527 points in a career. The game is airing on Peacock, but diehard fans can also tune in to a special alternate feed called the Caitlin Cast that will focus exclusively on her and every dribble, jump, and shot she makes. The senior point guard is already the reigning National Player of the Year, averaging 32.1 points and 8.3 assists per game. And while Caitlin says breaking the record isn't really on her mind right now, it sure is on the mind of fans. Ticket prices for tonight's game are soaring, with courtside seats running more than $3,000. I call it Clarkonomics, ESPN college hoops analyst Debbie Antonelli told USA Today Sports. She's driven the game to a whole new level by herself. No one has ever shown up to watch one player like they're showing up for her. It was a snowstorm meltdown in New York City Tuesday as the remote learning software designed to keep kids in school on snow days crashed in a big way. More than 1 million of the city's public school students could not log on, according to NBC News, leaving parents and educators frustrated with the city and the city frustrated with computer giant IBM. IBM says it's working with the city on the issues. Tuesday was NYC's snowiest day in 2 years. Memories of the Super Bowl will likely last a lifetime for some Georgia high school students. Over the holidays, members of the Jonesboro High Band were called by their director for an impromptu rehearsal that they thought would be a normal practice, only to find out that they had a special request from a high-profile secret admirer. No one said anything and the room went silent, one saxophone player said of the moment they found out. Usher wanted them to join him in a Super Bowl preview commercial and on the field for his much-hyped halftime show. According to WXIA, they had just 2 days to prepare to shoot the ad, but are still glowing from the opportunity to share the spotlight with the Atlanta-based R&B performer. Usher capped off his dynamic show with just about the only thing that could top it. The New York Times reports he and his partner, Jennifer Jean Goycochea, went to a Las Vegas chapel that night where they got married, surrounded by family and friends. A brand new spire, or tapering cone at the top of Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral, was revealed for the first time this week, adorned with a golden rooster and a cross. On Monday, scaffolding surrounding the spire was removed after nearly 5 years of construction following a fire in 2019. The rooster was designed to resemble a phoenix with flaming feathers to mark the cathedral's rise from the ashes. The building is scheduled to reopen in December of this year, but as the construction winds down, much of it may be visible to visitors during the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics. Residents who live near the cathedral told the Associated Press, "It's beautiful and it's much better than before. It gives us hope." In today's KidNuz notes, a tiny shift with big implications has occurred in the U.S. House of Representatives following a high-stakes special election. Democrat Thomas Suozzi beat out Republican Mazi Pilip for New York's 3rd District seat, vacated after Republican George Santos was expelled for ethics violations. The already thin Republican majority in the House is now 1 seat smaller. Once Suozzi is sworn in, Republicans will have 219 seats to Democrats' 213, leaving Republicans very little wiggle room in ultra-tight votes. And with any luck, Odysseus lifted off this morning, a day after temperature issues forced NASA to postpone the lunar lander's first launch attempt on Wednesday. Odie is set to spend 8 days in space before touching down on the moon in the first such landing for the U.S. in 50 years. If all went as planned, Odie is now airborne after blasting off from Cape Canaveral at 1:05 Eastern Time this morning. Still ahead, canine cuddle time in the dentist chair. But first, today's KidNuz quiz. How many points does basketball star Caitlin Clark need to score tonight to beat the NCAA women's all-time scoring record? 8. What is the name of the Georgia band that performed alongside Usher at the Super Bowl? The Jonesboro High School Band. What sits atop the new spire of Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral? A golden rooster and a cross. What is the new Republican to Democrat ratio in the House of Representatives? 219 to 213. In today's KidNuz Kicker, going to the dentist is doggone fun in one Minneapolis office. Ollie, a Labradoodle, is on hand at J&D Dental to calm nerves and cuddle with patients as they get their teeth cleaned or worked on. According to the Star Tribune, the 80-pound Ollie clocks in once a week and typically lays on the laps of about 8 patients a day, all of whom book in advance with his human hygienist, April Klein. Klein says she started taking him to work when her kids had their appointments and found he loves snoozing on patients or sitting next to them while they pet him. If you want an Ollie experience, plan ahead. He's often booked 6 months out. Before we go, shout-outs to our KidNuz classrooms. Mrs. McNulty's Titans at Bryantville School in Pembroke, Massachusetts. Mrs. Wilson's Stallions at Sienna School in Meridian, Idaho. And Mrs. Osborne's Fantastic Panthers at Fulton Junior High School in O'Fallon, Illinois. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share KidNuz with all your friends and family. And we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.